And hello. It is us. It's all a work. Today, we've got Dress It over to my side. We have Hanji Manji down below. And of course, as always, it's me, your boy, Big T. And we are coming off of the heels of an amazing, energetic, and otherwise awesome Monday Night Raw. As a matter of fact, I would even go as so far as to say that this should have been the Raw after WrestleMania. I personally was engaged in this Raw from start to finish, even though I did end up watching it late, or finishing it off late, I guess. It was fantastic. I loved everything about it. And as promised, as we put on the Facebook and the other social medias, we will be getting into the Uncle Howdy, alleged Uncle Howdy business. And we'll go into depth with Rhea and Liv. Is it a work? We're going to talk about that. And yeah, let's jump right in. Actually, boys, y'all have anything else before we jump in?
Still not my champion, but let's go.
No, because news is for later, so no, we good.
Hell yeah. And we have news, obviously, with your boy Dresh, bringing the news to us weekly. Actually, twice a week now. Thursdays and Sundays, Dresh out here be knocking it out. You know what? I meant to ask this before we get started. Did either one of y'all watch Gargano and Angel?
I did.
Do you have that for news, or do you want to talk about it real quick right now?
We can talk about it right now.
Yeah, let's go into it. I missed it, unfortunately, so.
I mean, you could still pull it up. It's a 2.5 minute long match.
Oh.
I mean, it was a pretty back and forth match. I don't know that, Gargano's style, in my opinion, really lends to the speed matches, but it played out well. Him and Angel had a good back and forth, just like anything else we've run across with them. These speed matches, I haven't seen one yet that was just very one-sided and the powerhouse and done. Even Bronson Reed's match was a little bit of back and forth. In the end, you had Gargano that took the win and moved forward from there. He will take on Big Bronson Reed in, I believe, 2 weeks. I think next week is Ricochet's match.
Okay. So Bronson Reed and Ricochet in a 3-minute match?
No, Bronson Reed and Gargano will be a 3-minute match.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, that seems crazy too, because Bronson is strong out of the gate usually, right? But I see what you're saying with Gargano, where Gargano, he likes to build. He takes time to build. So, very interesting. In that match,
that's why I don't feel him lending to this particular style very well because of that. Because he likes to build to get to where he's going, and you really don't have that time to build with that format.
So, and that's what I wanted to ask. Would you say in this match that he tried to build, or did he go out of the gate and it looked awkward? Did he try to go fast out the gate and it didn't look good?
He tried to go right out the gate. It didn't look awkward. It just wasn't his normal style. He looked rushed in a lot of what he did, which is a lot of where Angel was able to get his time in and get his momentum started during the periods where he got it, because it's just not a Gargano thing to rush through it like this.
Sure. But you said we had Gargano going over in the end, right?
Yes, yeah. Gargano went over in the end. He'll take on Big Bronson Reed. And Ricochet, hold on, I got my notes. Ricochet will take on JD McDonough.
Awesome. I love it.
Makes sense.
Yep. And I bet you, I would bet that that's where we're going to see the turnaround. JD's going to end up beating Ricochet somehow off of that. I don't want it to happen, but I bet you that if they're going to get a win, that's where it's going to come from, is on these quick matches. But all right, let's go ahead and get into the meat of the discussion. Now we had the one side, and now we're going to get into the meat, and then we'll have the potatoes at the end with the news. We're going to start off this Raw how we start off most Raws, and that's going to be Sami Zayn's entering the building. Damian Priest is entering the building. Cody Rhodes is entering the building. Jey Uso is entering the building. We love, as fans, apparently, or at least they think that we love to see people walking around backstage and entering the building. So that's what we get every week, just so we, I guess, know who's there. And then we're going to get a proper reminder of what happened last week, or not last week, but last Friday, with the Bloodline and Tama Tonga and, you know, Solo Sikoa taking over, at least by the looks of it. And they basically say that we're going to get a full and a real recap, I guess. They're going to show a longer video of what happened later on in the night. And this is going to take us right into the news that everybody's been hearing since about... What would you say? It was like Sunday when the news started to break? Maybe even Friday that Rhea was hurt?
I think it was Saturday when we started seeing stuff. But it wasn't until Monday, like it was late Sunday night, that stuff started to get real heavy with the holy crap, she's going to have to drop her title. And
the injury angle, or real injury behind it.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, I love that meme that you shared in our group, Dresh, where it was like, you know, I have to relinquish my belt because I'm having a few months off, and then Roman laughs and not being there and like months at a time or whatever. I thought that was hilarious. So Rhea's gonna come out. She's gonna say that she's stuck on the bench for a few months, and she's gonna have to abandon her title due to the fact that she was attacked by Liv Morgan last week. She says that the title means more to anything else to her in her entire life, which was what makes giving up the title so difficult. She's going to lay the title in the middle of the ring. We're going to get a thank you, mommy chant. She calls Liv a coward for blindsiding her on this revenge tour of hers. And she says that her official warning is that when she comes back, whatever woman so happens to be unfortunate enough to hold the title, she's coming back for blood. So that person better watch out. She said that if she finds Liv in the back, they're going to have to lock her up in jail at Montreal because of what she's going to do to her. And then Liv's music is going to hit, and Liv is going to start to make her way down to the ring, but she is instantly surrounded by security. Instantly. Now, it is important to note that the entire time Liv is smiling and laughing chaotically. And Rhea is obviously yelling, you know, let her go, let her go. Rhea's going to get out the ring. And I'm going to say this, Adam Pearce is useless when it comes to holding people back. That dude is useless.
Yeah, he's just standing there. He's like, hold on. I don't know who to grab. He just lets him. I think he does it on purpose. He wants him to go at it.
So
secretly.
You know, she gets by Adam Pearce like it ain't nothing because he didn't even try. And then we have 3 security guards to hold back Rhea. Liv's going to end up making her way to the back, and Rhea is going to give a headbutt or a Glasgow kiss, however you want to name that. But it's basically a headbutt to one of the poor security guards standing to the left there. As that happens, we're going to fade into another camera angle to Sheamus in the back getting ready for his match his return match that he's about to have.
No wonder they used his silhouette.
You said what?
I said no wonder they used his silhouette in the little intro segment there.
Yeah, because they showed the real body. A lot of people have been upset.
Hashtag Sheamus.
Instead of saying fella, he comes out going fella. No.
Yeah.
Now look, we're gonna go to commercial. We're gonna come back. We're gonna see Rhea walking into the Judgment Day's arms, and they embrace her. And Priest says that when she comes back, they know that she's gonna make Liv pay, and that she'll get back on top again because she's Rhea Bloody Ripley. And as Rhea walks away, Dom says, "I love you, mommy," and she goes, "Yeah, I know," and just keeps on walking out. So this is going to bring us to Sheamus versus Ivar. Now, Sheamus obviously is making a return.
Wait. But before we start the next segment, do you think it's a work?
Liv and Rhea?
Yeah, do you think it's a work, or do you think it's really hurt?
Rhea's injury. He's talking about Rhea's injury.
Yes. I've seen the video where she got hurt, and I just don't believe it. I don't buy it at all. Like, as a matter of fact, the video, the evidence video itself actually made me believe more that it was a work. And there's multiple reasons that I believe this. I believe she leaves so Damian can shine harder. I believe she leaves so that Liv can get the title, and Liv can have her proper run until SummerSlam. I believe that Rhea needs to go get married, and this is the perfect time for her to get married. And I also believe that Rhea held the title for an entire year, and while yes, Roman held the title for 4 years or whatever, this is a way to keep Rhea looking strong, let her have some time off, let her go get married and do her thing, and then she can come back. I do not believe for 1 second that she's actually injured. It's just, everything is just too coincidental, you know, and especially when Liv, and I was going to talk about it more when Liv had her interview, because Liv was like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a shoulder for a shoulder, and I'm just like, you're right, Liv, that is way too specific. Your shoulder's been out, and now you come back, and now her shoulder's out. As soon as you start your feud with her, after her feud is done with Becky, like, it, to me, it makes sense to have Rhea out of the picture, because Damian also, again, I think this is the biggest thing, needs to be able to shine, and when you have both of them in the Judgment Day, I believe that Rhea outshines Damian almost every single instance.
Now, I got a question for you. Where are these married allegations coming from?
The what?
Well, she's been engaged to the guy for a while.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden it's time to get married.
This is me saying this. I have not read this anywhere. This is a big T prediction.
Damn, shit, I thought you were just going on vacation. Not getting married. Who signed off on this?
I mean, you know, like I said before, if she's getting married, me and her would have had, up until she ran that Glasgow kiss, me and her would have had some issues when she got home, because you're engaged to me and you're telling me that fucking belt is the most important thing in your life. Mommy, you sitting on the couch. I'm sorry, but goddamn.
Well, I don't know about that. Mommy's always on top, you know.
I'm pretty sure.
Not if you're telling me that belt is more important than I am to you. I'm just saying.
Cheese ball.
Now, in the defense of it being a work, because I'm actually, the more I read about it, it might not be a work. However, remember when Cena had to drop his title? Does anybody remember how many days he held the title when they made him drop it?
Oh, Cena when he had his elbow thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, how long
Cena dropped the title at 380 days. Rhea Ripley had to drop the title at 380 days. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, man.
So that leans into the work portion, but I don't know. I think it's not. I think she might actually be hurt.
Okay. I mean, that's what's great about it, is that, like, this is what brings us.
I don't think she's hurt as bad as they make it seem. But, and, you know, just like everybody else, all right, now it's time for me to get a couple weeks off from the story. But I think she might actually be hurt.
Okay. All right. I mean, and that's fair. And this is what, as far as, like, wrestling fans, this is what we want. Like, to me, the lines aren't completely clear. They're a little blurred. And I'm just like, no, maybe she isn't hurt. Maybe she just wanted some time off. And, you know, another thing is, like, there are a lot of people saying, like, oh, they're going to stop her in the middle of her biggest, you know, point of her career, and they're going to stop all the momentum she has. And, you know, to that, I'm like, yes, because when she comes back, she's going to have twice that momentum now. And, you know,
maybe it's pointing to what we talked about with them not having, you know, fucking 9 years per title run. You know, maybe it's them starting to show, hey, Let's change hands a little more frequently.
Right, we're gonna change out because them title holders have been holding them titles a year plus, and then you got Roman with 4 years. That's a long ass time.
Also, let's not forget that they admitted that they were gonna fake an injury for Cody Rhodes, so he couldn't go against Roman. They were going to do that.
Yeah.
They admitted that was going to happen,
Yep.
and that would have kept Cody out till SummerSlam. So let's not forget that they're not like Cody is bigger than Rhea, arguably. So they were going to take Cody out of the picture from before WrestleMania to SummerSlam originally. Like, why wouldn't they do it with Rhea?
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That is fair.
I say it's a.
But I just,
Go ahead.
I was just saying. I just thought I'd ask. Get the viewers involved. This is a question for everybody. Please comment on the YouTube, Facebook, because we want to know. What do you think? Real injury, fake injury? Is it a work? Is it not a work? Are they pulling the wool over our eyes, or is Rhea really hurt? Is she getting married? I don't know. Sounds unlegit, but who knows?
She's like, nah. She get married.
I'm fighting that tooth and nail.
Also, the on the Spotify as well, we have a poll question every single week on the Spotify when the episode drops. How did you feel about the episode? Did you like it? Did you love it? Was it meh? So also interact there as well. Anywhere you're listening to us, Hanji's right. Interact with us, man. We're trying to build the community. We're trying to get people talking. We're trying to make some noise, and just see what everybody thinks about everything that's going on.
Wrestling is hype again. Let's get it.
Exactly. So, speaking of hype, a lot of people were hype about Sheamus in his return. Now, look, I'm going to say this right now, and this is just me. I'm not going to seriously body shame the man, because you know what? The man got married. He was off on injury, and did he get a little bit bigger? Yes. Did he look
heavyweight, man?
Did he look
heavyweight?
Did he look comparable to Ivar? Yes. But here's the thing. He was still able to kind of move like he did. He's still the same person. And all of the criticism that he's been getting online, he's been buying into it. As a matter of fact, Dresh, what is the nickname that he's given himself now?
He hit himself with 2.
Okay.
Yep.
He hit himself with Whalemus. And then Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Yep.
He hashtag Sheamus himself. He said, his exact words were he came back early. He wanted to be back in time for the draft. He knows he came back too soon. He apologized for his look and said, don't worry, I've been sleeping in the gym since that night. You will see a change. Which I believe, because if anybody's checked out Sheamus's YouTube channel, he's one of those motherfuckers that's running around lifting cars and shit for his workouts. He's got the extreme workout channel.
Yep.
So I guarantee you he will be back in shape. But for right now, motherfucker, I'm in better shape than he looks.
Well, let me explain something to people that don't understand workout stuff. So, Sheamus is probably, there's a possibility that Sheamus could be stronger than he was when he left. I don't think he stopped working out, I think that he allowed himself to get bigger, and I think all he has to do is cut. I think if he cuts, he's going to look jacked underneath that.
I will say, I think you're right, but he's more like stronger. He's bulking up. He
put himself out in the sun a little bit more, though. I'll tell you that.
That is
he ain't
also
as pasty.
True. He is not as pasty, but he's I will say he is not that in-ring shape yet, because you can see he gets a little gas halfway, a little bit through his match. So, but
like I said, he admitted to it. He apologized for coming back sooner than he should have, but he promises he will be back to where he was. And with seeing his YouTube channel, seeing his workout ethic, seeing all that, I 100% believe that it won't be long before we see Sheamus as Sheamus again.
Yep. And on top of that, anyone who's out there seriously hating on him, and not just for fun or whatever the case may be, I pointed this out on another group. of people that were making fun of him. And what I said was most wrestling fans, not all, but most wrestling fans kind of do 10 push-ups, 10 pull-ups, and couldn't even dream of doing 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and couldn't even dream of doing a pull-up. I don't think that it hurt Sheamus's feelings to see those things, but I do think that what Dresch is alluding to is that it kind of put a boot in his ass, and he was like, you know what, I did come back a little early. You know what, maybe I should cut down and slim down and whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that either. So, just to address that, I guess.
To be honest, you know, in my opinion, the match looked fine. He did get gassed real easy, and that's a bad look on Sheamus. In my opinion, maybe he should have just come back in the suit with the little, you know, the cane, looking like the Irish bad boy that he tries to be.
Yeah.
Cut a good promo, piss a motherfucker off, you know.
Wait to be in the ring.
Call Drew McIntyre a bitch and wait to be in the ring until he pulled himself back down. Exactly.
Yep, and maybe it went that way, but go ahead, G.
No, I was just saying, in the reality, he can probably legit kick 90% of wrestling fans' ass.
Oh yeah,
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Regardless of his how he looks right now, he could probably kick your ass. Just throwing it out there.
Oh yeah.
So get behind your computer. You type all you want. He can kick your ass.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the match. Obviously, the crowd's excited to have him, no matter what. So the crowd is chanting "Welcome back." They're chanting "Let's go, fella." And this was always going to be, it was always going to go in Sheamus's favor. This match, you know, Sheamus was always going to hit his big moves in this match. It was a proper brawl with Ivar. So don't get me wrong. Like, while Sheamus, you know, this was Sheamus's match, it was not a squash. Sheamus had to do some work. You know, we ended up getting a good white noise onto Ivar from the second rope. That was fantastic, and that was early on in the match that he pulled that out. He was, but after that, and we've already talked about it, he was showing his ring rust, right? He was sweating pretty bad. He was obviously gassed. And he kind of used that to put over like a resilience factor for him. I think that he kind of played into it a little bit as well, like when he noticed he was getting gassed. And you know, the match kind of slowed down a bit, just a bit, and they kind of worked the ropes in the corner until we basically got our finish, which, you know, he had to build back up to get, I guess, his breath back for it. But you know, he did what was called a kneecap, which is basically a bicycle kick, but instead of the foot for like the bro kick, he's getting the knee, right? So they botched the first one because it was too close. I think Ivar came up on him too quickly, and he pushes him back. He hits another one, and then he hits the bro kick and gets the win. So I think what probably happens is, just to wrap this one up, is most likely, from what Dresch is saying and everything else, it looks like he's probably going to take a week or two off and then come back again. I don't think we're going to see him next week at the very least. And he's going to spend his time in the gym and wait to come back. I mean, we might see him because we have the draft, but I mean, I don't think he's going to be super active until he loses that weight again, if that makes sense. So from this point, we're going to fade into a recap of Gunther and Sami's story. And then it's going to shift to Chad and Sami's story. After that, we're going to go to a commercial and come back. And Pat is going to be pissed off that when Sheamus was celebrating, he came over and choked Pat McAfee. He actually grabbed Pat McAfee by the throat while he was partying with Michael Cole, and fucking Pat was actually acting like he was pissed off about it, which I thought was hilarious.
He was also pissed off because Sheamus knocked over his drink and didn't bring him anyone.
Yep.
Yes, that as well. But either way, we're going to get into one of the hotter moments of the night, which I I always enjoy things like this. It's the Triple H segment where he unveils the new tag team titles.
That man looks more like a ball sack every day.
Tommaso Ciampa. It looks like Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, I know, right? Tommaso Ciampa.
So Triple H is going to come out, and Adam Pearce is already going to be in the ring. We're going to have the red carpet, and he's going to come out and talk about the new era and WrestleMania being awesome and the crowd being awesome, and then they're going to transition into the tag team division being awesome and needing titles that they can be proud of. And Adam's going to bring out the awesome truth, which is, of course, our truth in The Miz. They're going to bring out their titles, into which we get the chant of the year, the "You Deserve It" chant. I tell you what, man, wrestling fans are very fickle, and I am one of them. And I will tell you, I love to see a good babyface win, but all of the babyfaces just about won at WrestleMania, and I want a heel to beat the shit out of all of them. Like, I'm already bored. Like, I'm not bored, but like, I just want. I need a proper heel back, man. I don't know.
No, everybody wanted the baby faces to win. I was the only one that wanted the heels to win. No, y'all get what y'all want. We bored now.
Motherfucker, I wanted Roman to beat Cody. What you talking about?
That is true. The one heel. All right, Dresh. My bad.
So,
everybody else.
I'm tired of the story, and the story fucking continues.
It's not going to stop. They got 2 more years on them at least.
I mean, there's a side chapter in AEW with Dustin Rhodes and Samoa Joe.
Stop.
Yeah.
Just
It's
stop.
a side story.
Hey, 4 people were there to see it. I promise.
Oh my god!
AEW isn't even going to be around by the time the Bloodline story ends.
Look! They had their Samoa and the Rhodes. Saying we gonna finish our story over here.
We got Cody Rhodes versus Roman at home.
We got that T-move.
God.
Oh my god.
We got fat Roman Reigns and old Cody Rhodes they're over here just. Look, anyway.
Well, we got the Wish.com bloodline story over there.
So Truth gets so happy he decides to start to do a jumping split, and Triple H says, "Let me be the first to say, what's up?" And he says, also, congratulations. Triple H said that they made history and for Truth to have his WrestleMania moment was, to quote The Miz, awesome. Which is true. Truth deserved that moment. He says that going forward, they will be known as the World Tag Team Champions, and they'll be wearing these as he unveils the new titles. Truth is then going to go on for about 5 minutes calling Triple H a wizard because he apparently made the titles appear out of thin air. When he's not getting it, Miz is going to mention Triple H, or he says Triple H's name, and Truth says that Triple H isn't even here. That's Tommaso Ciampa. He said that he says that he doesn't trust magicians anymore because people used to be able to see little Jimmy, and he can't trust a magician now because of that. And he says, "What exactly else are you hiding, Tommaso Ciampa?" Triple H then just says, "Can I just go?" And he grabs the old titles from The Miz and Truth and hands the new titles to them. He looks at Adam and he says, "Good luck," and he exits the ring. Adam, flustered, says, "Why'd you make the boss leave?" "Why'd you make the boss leave?" He's like, "The boss just left." He's like, "The boss isn't in the ring. The boss is Triple H. That's Tommaso Ciampa." And Adam says, "Whatever. It's now time to determine who the first challengers will be for the titles," and introduces the Triple Threat Tag Team match. The Triple Threat Tag Team match is going to be the #1 contenders. It's a Triple Threat number one contenders match. I'm sorry, I'm just reading verbatim from my notes, and that's a bad idea. But it's DIY, the New Day, and the Creed Brothers. I do want to say a couple things before we get into this next part. All faces here. 2 matches tonight where it was all faces. Very interesting. And then the Creed Brothers are going to be fantastic. Like, I am very excited.
I can't wait.
And, you know, you can tell Ivy Nile is definitely cut from that cloth as well. Like just how she wrestles, how they wrestle. Like it's absolutely fantastic. So this is what we're going to get into now. We're going to get into, before the match, while the New Day was coming out, we get the glitch. We get another glitch. So this section, for anyone listening, is going to be up on our YouTube. Just this part is going to be cut out. But while the New Day was coming down to the ring, we get a glitch on the screen, and we're going to get 3 images. Now I'm going to show these 3 images on the screen. Let's see. So the first image we're going to get is this comes up. All right. So, and then this comes up. And then this comes up, which is the QR code. Now, Hanji and Dresh, you guys can't see what's coming up on the screen, so I'll explain it. It's the you're going to get the sign, which is the sign of Pluto. And then you're going to get a raven, which is inside of the sign of Pluto. And then you're going to get the QR code. So, if you follow the QR code, what you're going to do is you're going to get this image and this image sitting on top of each other. Now, it didn't take people long to figure out that those were just one image broken up. So when you put those together, you get this. You get this website, www.com/UEDNJ51A. I looked it up. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a URL. But you're going to go there and you're going to see this. This is the image that you're going to see. Now, most people have no idea what this is. And this is for, again, Hanji and Dresh can't see it, but this is the pillar of fire. And then after that is going to be the raven. And then there's going to be a stone gentleman. And the shadow is going to be cast by the raven. Now, if you download this, you get a name of the image. The name of the image is Patience. It's almost time. Now, one thing interesting when I was doing research on all of this, I don't think anyone downloaded that image, or at least didn't pay attention to the name, because not one other person anywhere has mentioned the name of the image. Thought it was very interesting. Now, one other thing that I didn't think of, I'm actually ripping this off, but if you hit Control U on the website, what that's going to do is that's going to show you the HTML code for the website. And so, if you do that, you'll see this. Now, there are 72, I believe, lines of code that will come up. I'm only showing you the first 7, but line 4, as you can see, if anybody who knows coding, you can put messages inside of coding as long as you do the correct characters. And so what this says, again, for anybody who's listening on YouTube or I'm sorry, listening on Spotify, line 4 reads, "An open door is a welcome that makes a stranger into a friend." That is embedded inside of the HTML code. So that is all of that. Now below the picture itself, you're going to get this video that I'm going to show right now. Time to wake up. Take my hand. Things will be better. Trust me. The sign of Pluto, the sign of the raven, the sign of raven merging with Pluto, and then that's the end of the video. So, what does it all mean, right? One thing that Bray Wyatt, God rest his soul, rest in peace, whatever you want to say. One thing that Bray Wyatt was big on was cryptic messages. Now let's go ahead and talk about the first, or not the first, but the picture itself, right? The raven and the pillar and all that good stuff. That is a play on Plato's allegory of the cave. So basically what that is or what that says, and I'm gonna have to read this kind of verbatim. Dresh and G, do you guys know anything about this allegory of the cave thing?
Nope.
No.
So I'd heard about it once before when I was younger, probably back in school, but I haven't heard about it since. So basically, I'll read it verbatim off of the site here. Plato's allegory of the cave is an allegory presented to the Greek philosopher Plato in his work Republic, to compare the effect of education to the lack of it on our nature. It is written as a dialogue between Plato's brother Glaucion and his mentor Socrates, and is narrated by the latter. The allegory is presented after the analogy of the sun and the analogy of the divided line. In the allegory, Plato describes people that have spent their lives chained in a cave facing a blank wall. They watch shadows projected onto the wall by objects passing in front of the fire behind them, and they give names to these shadows. The shadows are the prisoner's reality, but not accurate representations of the real world. The shadows represent the fragment of reality that we can normally perceive through our senses, while the objects under the sun represent the true forms of objects that we can only perceive through reason. 3 higher levels exist: natural science, deductive mathematics, geometry, and logic, and the theory of forms. Socrates explains how the philosopher is like a prisoner who is freed from the cave and comes to understand that the shadows on the wall are actually not the direct source of the images seen. A philosopher aims to understand and perceive the higher levels of reality. However, the other inmates of the cave do not even desire to leave their prison, for they know no better life. Socrates remarks that this allegory can be paired with various writings, namely the analogy of the sun and the analogy of the divided line. So I know that was long. I'm sorry. Bear with me with that. But that's what that is all about. So again, just more cool kind of cryptic things. So that is that picture. So now some people may be asking, why did he put up the sign of Pluto? Why put up the Raven? Well, we here at It's All a Work have done the research for you, so we're going to get into that real quick. Also, I'm putting the if you guys want to know more about the allegory of the cave, I'm putting the Wikipedia link up so you guys can check that out. So I googled, what does the sign of Pluto mean? That's what that sign is, that first sign. It's the sign of Pluto, used by NASA, used by, everybody. So, like its mythological namesake, Pluto beacons us to explore the depths of transformation. It's associated with secrets, clandestine information, and monumental metamorphoses experienced over a lifetime. Pluto's influence is intense, life-altering, and profound. Another thing said, Pluto symbolizes regeneration, transformation, and rebirth. Even if it does not look like things get done with Pluto. A new approach and new perspective is what the planet Pluto is all about. It helps an individual look at things differently, transform or evolve their views, and merge with new outlooks on life, which goes hand in hand with the allegory of the cave. So then the next picture, this is the final part, in case I'm losing anybody. The next part is, I googled, what does the image of a raven mean or symbolize? I got 2 answers. First answer is, in many cultures, the raven is seen as a symbolic of a transformation and magic associated with both the underworld and the spirit world. Its ability to thrive in diverse environments showcases its adaptability, making it a symbol of resilience and resourcefulness. And because of its black plumage, croaking call, and diet of carrion, the raven is often associated with loss and ill omen, yet its symbolism is complex. As a talking bird, the raven also represents prophecy and insight. Ravens in stories often act as psychopalms, connecting the material world with the spirit, or with the world of the spirits. So basically, new things are coming, things have been revitalized, things have been transformed, or they're going to be transformed. things could be seen as an ill omen, and the way that presumably, if this is all what we think it is, Uncle Howdy sees us as people in the cave looking at the shadows, and he would like us to maybe follow the Ravens and leave the cave and see things how they really are. So all very crazy stuff, all very good stuff, good things coming from the brother of the mind of Bray Wyatt. Gentlemen, before I get into the very last part of this section or whatever, which is just superstars who are coming back. Do you guys have any thoughts on all this crazy, like, scholarly stuff that I just read?
No. No. I will dig a little deeper, see if I can find any more meetings to all of this, but yeah, it just basically saying how this coming.
Yeah. I'll say I think you dug a little deeper than you needed to, but it's good information.
That's what it's all about, man. The fact that you're able to dig that deep is what I love.
He went to Edgar Allan Poe's depth of acknowledgement and knowledge. Like, you was digging hard, bro.
Hey, once I figured out that they had codes embedded in the HTML, I was like, all right, this is serious. I was like, this shit is serious. Like, someone did some real work in here and did some real intelligent shit. So
yeah.
And because of that, I think it honors them for people to actually dig and figure this stuff out. You know what I mean? So they put the work in. Fuck, I'll do the digging.
All that just to say Howdy's coming back stronger than ever.
Yeah. But not only Howdy.
He's bringing friends.
He's bringing friends. Now let's get into the friends that we almost know for a fact that he is bringing. Mm-hmm. Eric Rowan is not reported to be under contract with WWE currently, but he just canceled all his future indie shows because he has a contractual obligation that he has to fill. Now, a lot of people are saying that's pointed to him being under contract with WWE, and they've kept it under wraps. Makes sense, since Eric Rowan is not a huge star, so they could slide that one under the rug. On March 14th, Alexa Bliss finally broke her silence and confirmed that she will be returning to WWE this year. Braun Strowman, currently under contract with WWE. He's been out on injury, but he's fine to come back. He was injured in 2022, I believe it was. And then Bo Dallas is obviously under contract. He's been under contract since 2022. So
he's been down in NXT, right?
He hasn't been doing anything since his brother passed. So yes. We have the formula for something amazing to happen soon. Will it be at SummerSlam? I don't think we're gonna have to wait that long. I think it's gonna come sooner than that.
I mean, considering they're hitting us with it, not just every show, and I didn't dig. I wish I had. I'm sorry. I got busy at work today. We had the UK Live. I wouldn't be surprised if they slid something into that UK Live today. I don't know if it was today or yesterday or whenever, but I would not be surprised if they slid something into that we haven't seen yet.
I would not be surprised either. I definitely wouldn't be surprised either.
So, with them hitting us with shit every single event that they can, it's not going to be that long. I mean, I would be surprised. Honestly, I would be surprised if this hasn't come to fruition before Backlash.
Yes,
maybe, or at Backlash.
Yes, I was thinking like right before Backlash. Or at Backlash, or right after Backlash. It's going to be sometime around that.
I don't know if they'd do it at Backlash just because it's on foreign soil, and that seems like something they'd want to do here.
I mean, but the thing for Backlash is, it kind of fits into the whole backlash of everything that has happened.
It does.
So it would make sense for them to come out as a group during Backlash to kind of cause that chaos. So, but I don't know. It's a lot of plane tickets also.
All I know is that Raw needs a heel team and they need it quick. The heel team is the Bloodline on SmackDown. Raw needs a real heel team now because it is the Judgment Day, but the Judgment Day, they're like anti-heel, anti-hero. It's very weird, the Judgment Day, because people love them, they hate them. It's very odd. I don't know.
No. You know what? We'll get into that later.
Heard that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have 3 men in the ring at the same time in this triple threat match. Triple threat tag team match. Which it's going to create a lot of unique offense. And it's actually going to make for a lot of cool moments. I recorded a couple of those cool moments. We get like a schoolboy run where everyone is doing roll-ups for near falls. Like one roll-up happens and someone from the other team does a roll-up and someone from the other team does a roll-up, and that went back and forth for a while. We had some cool things like attempted suplexes done to other team members, and they started pulling each other down and then lifted them up for a suplex, pulled the other person down, lifted them up for a suplex. We had a double over-the-top rope dive from DIY to Creed Brothers, who end up catching them. But then the New Day is going to do their dives of their own and take out both teams. That was pretty dope. And then there were 2 exchanges that were really awesome. I recorded the entirety of the first exchange, so just bear with me when we go through this. Because again, I'm not trying to do move for move anymore. I'm trying to obviously do this out differently. But this I had to record because it was crazy. I watched it like 3 times. So the way this goes down is Ciampa and Julius start going blow for blow, right? Right hand after right hand after right hand after right hand. And then Julius is going to get the upper hand with a knee out of nowhere. And then we're going to go to Kofi attempting a Thunder in Paradise, and Julius is going to reverse it. When Julius reverses it, Ciampa's going to hit his running knee. Then Brutus is going to come in and do a double axe handle slam to Ciampa. Woods is going to hit a double drop kick to Brutus. Gargano is going to hit hit Woods with a slingshot spear using the middle rope from the outside for leverage. And then Kofi is going to hit a running knee to Gargano. Julius is going to intercept and hit a over-the-head slam to Kofi. He's going to try for a standing moonsault to Kofi, but Kofi's going to get the knees up. Gargano's going to super kick Julius out of the ring. Kofi's going to roll up Gargano, who's going to roll through and hit a knee to the side of Kofi's head, which caps it off, and it gets capped off with an apron inside double team double kick from Ciampa and Gargano, who fully ends the run with a power bomb backstabber, and then Gargano does a front flip on the outside to Xavier and Brutus. All of that exchange happened within like less than 30 seconds. Ended up being a near fall. Very awesome. Like the way that they were moving in and out of the ring, like one move, done, all right, next guy come in, another move, done, next guy come in. Like they kept the action flowing this entire match, and I loved it. A couple other things that happened. Ciampa's going to get a Triple H chant, which is hilarious, and he actually fully played into it, which was awesome. They're going to end up doing more tit-for-tat wrestling, and like I said, 2 wrestlers getting kind of like a mini spot, but the other team ends up getting involved and kind of stopping the momentum. Kofi's going to end up hitting a Famouser on Woods. Kofi is going to hit a Famouser on Ciampa while Woods is holding him in the air. The Creed Brothers at one point are going to do a quad pin. So the Creed Brothers are able to pin all 4 other competitors at the same time at one point with legit moves. Like legit, like it's insane. The match was crazy. If you guys have time, go and watch the match. Is all, because like I'm not doing it justice. I'm really not. The end spot for the match is going to be the Creed Brothers go for the Brutus Ball, but the New Day get involved to save Ciampa. Julius hits a superplex onto Kofi, but Woods is going to hit the Brig Elbow on Julius. Then Ciampa and Gargano hit the meet in the middle on Woods to win the match and become your #1 contenders. Mm-hmm. Just insane, quick things happening. I think there were 2 commercial breaks during the match. Just an insane amount of really good wrestling. I mean, I love DIY. To me,
all that from the start.
What's that?
So I would like to call that from start.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, we're breaking apart.
Yeah, really, really hard actually.
Ooh.
Either way, until he figures that out and gets back, you know, I love DIY, but the Caesars, man, the Caesar brothers are you know, they
Creed brothers,
huh?
The Creed brothers,
The Creed brothers, yes.
the Caesar brothers.
I don't know. Him being messed me up. The Creed brothers, are very impressive to me. G, what's your take on all this, man?
Man, I can't wait for them to boost the Creed brothers up. It's like you have Kurt Angle and Chad Gable just put into a team, and it's just like, if you didn't notice in that entrance, you see both of them crawl up the stairs.
Yeah,
that shit was wild to me. I was like, yo, they are ready. What the hell is going on? So I'm honestly excited for them. Honestly, just the tag teams in general, you know, giving them the triple
I shouldn't
threat.
be breaking up anymore.
you sounded clear, yeah.
Yep, we did. Yeah, just having them.
I said I want to make note that I called that from the start.
Oh, who was gonna win?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Yeah, who you thought was gonna win? I'm surprised he
The
ain't
Creed
heard
brothers
that
looked really good, though. I mean, the New Day didn't have anything to prove. DIY, I mean, just from the way the storylines have gone, you know, here recently, it's not surprising that DIY went over. But I do look forward to the Creed brothers more in the future.
Gee, as you were saying, my friend.
Nah,
fuck that.
Yeah, he fucked me up. So you know what? Moving on to the next section. Just look out for the Creed brothers, and yeah, congratulations, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, DX. Welcome, #1 contenders.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so after this match, they're gonna put over CM Punk's new action figure, and we're gonna get a recap of what happened last week with Drew and Jey, with Punk costing him the title. Or not the title, but the #1 contender spot, I should say. We're going to head to the back with Jackie Redmond. We're going to see Punk laugh, or not Punk, but Drew laughing about it. And she says, this wasn't the reaction I was expecting, and he laughed. Then he sinks down into anger, and then he just kicks the shit out of the TV.
Buddha Doom to the TV.
So kicks the Buddha Doom to the TV. And then he just walks away. Now from here, we're gonna move into Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, versus Maxxine Dupri and Ivy Nile. I'm sorry, Maxxine Dupri and Ivy Nile.
Don't ever do that again. But continue.
I know, right? No.
So, this match.
Now, before we move into that, real quick,
okay.
Did you see the #1 shirt that's selling on WWE Shop this week?
No.
Remember Drew McIntyre's standing next to the grave with the gravestone saying CM Punk's WrestleMania run, whatever, 23 to 23 or whatever?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Same shirt, except it's got CM Punk's face like taped over Drew McIntyre's face, and it says on the gravestone, Drew McIntyre, WrestleMania XL 24-24 on the gravestone.
Rude as hell.
#1 selling shirt on the marketplace this week.
Wow, that was rude as hell.
That's amazing. I love that. So yeah, their feud's gonna be amazing. Like when they're both fully clear, when he's fully cleared and all that stuff, it's gonna be amazing. So I was happy about this match actually, and the reason is because it seems like we're finally getting some direction. Seems like we're finally getting the needle to move a little bit. I mean, it's taking too long in my opinion, but at least it's moving. So, you know, the fans aren't really engaged in this 4 or 5 weeks in. I'm sure to the fans, to casual fans, it's just a filler match. It's a, hey, I can go pee and make some more nachos now.
Nachos, though. That's rude.
But, you know, it was good to see it do a little bit more. So what's going to happen in this match is, you know, Ivy is going to live up to her name, the Pitbull, of WWE during the match. You know, even against Ivy Nile, Maxxine gets in the ring and does well for a minute. She utilizes like a crossbody from the top rope. She hits a fisherman's suplex. I'm sorry. I messed up. You know what? I messed up. No, I didn't. I didn't mess up. Never mind. I'm going to keep going. So Maxxine gets in the ring and she hits a crossbody from the top rope, and then a fisherman's suplex, and she does a decent enough DDT later on the match. And she really has firm control, honestly, for a good part of the match until Candice ends up distracting Maxxine. Indy's going to take control of the clothesline and end up tagging Candice, who's going to continue this heel aggression thing that she's been doing. So after that, they're going to continue to tease this hot tag, right? And right when the hot tag is about to be made, Indy's going to come in, distract the ref, who will end up not seeing the tag that Maxxine Dupri makes to Indy. Then Ivy. And after, Ivy tries to get in the ring because she was tagged in. But the ref didn't see it, so he's pushing her back. Indy is going to hit the boot of doom on Maxxine, which, by the way, that boot is not called the boot of doom. That's what I call it. That's what G calls it. That's the boot of doom. So Indy's going to hit the boot of doom to Maxxine and pull Candice's limp body over Maxine's body. And then she's going to run around to the ring and pull Ivy off the apron, and this is how we're going to get the win. Candice got her ass kicked, basically. And Indy did heel tactics. Now, the reason I said that the needle moved a little bit is obviously because Indy is now getting to be a little bit of a heel. Like, she gave into the dark side a little bit. Do I see them going for the tag titles anytime soon? No, but at least it's a story that's moving, and you know, I think Indy and Candice are going to go to SmackDown. I think they're going to be drafted over, and they're going to get pulled away from Maxxine and Ivy.
That'd be good. That'd be good for them.
I think so. You guys have any comments on this match? I know, like I said, I know this is like a P match, but I've been trying to.
No, it was actually interesting in the fact that, you know, you've got Indy. You 100% are right that Indy had that heel turn feel to it. It's gonna be her. I don't know if she's just tired of losing, or if she's actually gonna start to give in to the dark side. But it was a really interesting take on the way she's been recently. You're going from that more timid Indy Hartwell that you're seeing to, all right, we're gonna win this. God damn it, I'm tired of it. So
honestly, towards the end of the match, it looked like she was confused on doing the heel tactics because she was able to distract the ref enough, and then went over to kick. I think it was Isla or Ivy.
Ivy, no.
I forget. I think it was Ivy. I think she went to go kick Ivy. It wasn't even necessary. Like, she just looks so out of place with it, but you know.
But isn't that a heel tactic in itself? It doesn't have to be necessary. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, but it was just the way she did it. It looked like she was confused on doing it. Like, you know, did I do it right? Did I do this right? We got the win. Hey, you know, it worked. It worked, I guess.
Did I cheat the right way?
yeah. That's what it seemed like. She was looking for confirmation. Like, yo, did I do this right? We got the win. Yeah. So maybe she is. She just still looks confused on doing any heel tactics, though.
Yep. I think that we're going to get deeper heel tactics from her here in the future. We'll see where it takes them. It could end up being something awesome for them. I think it'd be cool. I mean, right now, the women's tag titles don't mean a lot. And I think that it would be cool to move those tag titles between the lesser tag teams. You know? Because the Kabuki Warriors aren't doing anything with them. Let's be honest. They're not doing anything. So... No
matches, just...
Right. So let's let's just move them around to some other teams and see if some other teams can elevate them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna get a trailer after this showing how awesome Damian Priest is, and we're gonna fade back to the Judgment Day in the back, upset about Rhea. Damian gives everyone a pep talk and gives clear direction for the Judgment Day in Rhea's absence, despite Finn questioning the match that he was put in. And things are currently actually looking up for the Judgment Day, in my opinion. Damian says that Finn is going to teach Jey the meaning of the word lost tonight, and at Backlash, well, he's going to teach Jey the meaning of the word pain. We're going to fade into seeing the Chad Gable training with the Creed brothers, and Jackie asks him how much winning the title means to him, and Chad is going to say that it means everything, and it would be validation to everything he's done. She also asks about how the crowd reaction in a positive way towards Sami will affect him in his match tonight. And he says that he's won things before when people didn't want him to win, and that Sami revealed all of his weaknesses to him during their training session, so he's going to take the win. He should have taken the win. Then this is going to move us into Andrade versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio. So, obviously a grudge match. A very interesting direction, I guess, with Andrade to keep him involved in this. I see him going to SmackDown, if I'm being honest. Dom's going to offer a handshake in the beginning. Obviously, the handshake is bullshit, so Andrade hesitates, and Dom's going to give him a chop right in the chest for insulting him. This is going to lead to Dom being in control for a little bit. But Andrade is going to take control over pretty quickly. And it's only going to go one way from there until JD gets involved and distracts Andrade after he goes for a high-risk move. He's going to quickly lose control after that during the commercial break. But Andrade is going to hit the double knees in the corner. Andrade is going to hit the double knees in the corner. And then a split-legged moonsault, which will lead to Andrade receiving a Canadian Destroyer on the apron. So it's just a lot of back and forth. So, the knees thing happens, and then Dom gets control, JD gets involved. It's just a whole thing that keeps going back and forth with this match. Obviously, Judgment Day tactics with Dom being out there wherever wherever Dom is, JD has to be. Dom tries to follow up this destroy with a 619, but Andrade is going to hit the spinning elbow instead, which, by the way, every time that spinning elbow is hit, it just seems disrespectful. Like, it seems like it's like it was hit for real for some reason.
It's a good hit.
Also, it's not lost on me that that is Chris Jericho's move, the Judas Kiss, and they've just made it a normal move that's used on WWE. They do that all the time, actually, which is very interesting. But either way, after the spinning elbow, he's going to follow up with the Message, which is the name of his finish. Which, again, it's another finish that I think is a terrible name for a finish, but Andrade is going to get the win. After the match, obviously, JD is going to get involved, and Dom and JD are going to attack Andrade, but Ricochet is going to come out and make the save. And this is going to start another chapter in the Ricochet and Judgment Day feud. Obviously, next week we're going to get Ricochet and Andrade versus Dom and Finn. Or no, I'm sorry, Dom and JD.
Squirrel says it's better than the Jaded.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. It is better than Jaded. Because you can't
don't talk about Jay Cargill. You see Dress right here.
Well, no, it's not that. I mean, I'm sure even Dresh agrees that name is terrible.
That name is terrible. 100% he's terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
but the pin finish is what exclamates it.
And here's the thing. Look, let's be real. We all know that I love Tiffany Stratton and the things that she does, but her move, the prettiest moonsault ever. I mean, it goes with her character and everything, but it's still lazy naming. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It is what it is. You can be real about the people that you can be real about the wrestlers that you like. Sometimes they do dumb shit.
Honestly, I will say the prettiest moonsault ever is better than the Jaded. I will admit that.
The move is better, just the naming is horrible.
That is also true. Squirrel says that the prettiest moonsault ever isn't the prettiest moonsault ever. I would argue all day that Chad and almost even Ivar have a better moonsault. Well, Ivar doesn't, but Chad Gable has a better moonsault than Tiffany, definitely.
Lita definitely had a better moonsault.
Ricochet has the best moonsault, so Lita had a good moonsault.
This moonsault is insane. Yeah.
So obviously we're gonna get Ricochet and Andrade versus JD and Dom next week. I mean, it's gonna happen. There's no way around it. They're just going to keep building this feud. They'll probably add somebody else to the feud so Finn can get inserted in there. It'll probably be Jey, to be honest, after Jey loses to Damian. So we're going to go ahead and move on here. We're going to get our Bloodline Reminder segment. And so basically they're going to show everything that happened, like the full thing instead of like a little teaser trailer in the beginning. And Kathy Kelly is going to end up being at the end. They're going to, end it, and Kathy Kelly standing there with Jey, and she wants to get a comment on Tama Tonga, like what he did to his brother and what Solo did to his brother. And Jey said, man, I told Jimmy to come with me. And he says the bloodline runs deep, and there could be members in the bloodline that we don't even know about yet. But such is life. And then he puts his match over with Finn Balor and says that Finn Balor is going to catch this yeet down. He's got to stop.
Gross.
He's got to say he's got to stop.
He ain't going to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Get yeeted on.
That's horrible.
But this is going to...
He going to yeet all over everybody. Come on now.
But Pat McAfee's over there yeeting on himself every time he comes up, so I get it.
Yeah. He's eating on Michael Cole, too.
That's a whole other story. God dang it. Drush is eating out here.
I was like, what are you doing? I saw yeet.
So that's going to move us into our next match. It's going to be Kayden Carter versus Katana Chance. Oh, no. It's going to be Kayden... I'm sorry. I read that like an idiot. It's going to be Kayden Carter and Katana Chance versus Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. That's how Samantha says
Don't ever do that again.
Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that.
Don't ever do that again. I was like, when did Katana Chance and Kayden break up?
No. That's my bad. Now, it's important to mention here that, again, we talk about the women's tag team champions. Now, let's just say that right now we had 10 women, if I'm counting correctly, that were featured on Raw. So 10 women featured on Raw. Actually, no, it was 11 if you count Nia Jax. And 8 of those women were involved in tag team matches. And in this match particular, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven and Kayden Carter and Katana Chance were introduced as being former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
So all of that is good, and it tells me that Triple H has something in mind. I'm just hoping that it's something great that brings respect to the titles, because I can't even say bring respect back to the titles, because the titles have never had respect on their name.
Think of a time when it did, yeah.
I was waiting for you to refute it, because I was like, wait, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I can't think of any tag champions, even like good.
The women's tag, like, I'm trying here. I mean, the only time I can really say is
Sasha and
Naomi, but Sasha and Naomi. But you saw what happened with that.
Yeah.
And then Sasha and Bayley also.
And you know what the crazy thing about that is? They both of those tag teams, obviously Sasha was the common denominator, but both of those tag teams ended up having an issue with the direction that the titles were going. They were like, there's no point in these titles, there's no respect on the titles' names, like, why do we have the titles? And it ultimately ended up with Naomi and Sasha leaving the company.
Yep.
Crazy.
So, yeah, I mean, and like I said, I have a lot of faith in Triple H and what he's been doing. I think a lot of that faith is propaganda, but also just because he's been talking his shit. Like, he's been walking the walk. Squirrel says that we should, they should get new belts, but the problem with that is like new belts isn't the problem; it's the storylines, it's the storylines.
There's no meat behind it. There's no meat behind the storylines. It's just, all right, one they're gonna face this team. All right, this T1 they're gonna face this team. The only time they really had any relevance is when it was Sasha Naomi, Sasha Bailey. They were going after whoever. It was legit. Just they made it important,
right?
Or tried to. And when Directive didn't go that direction, they were like, "All right, we're out. This is stupid."
Yep. So, by the way, going into this match, again, it's another kind of quick match. Not a lot of notes on this one. So Chelsea and Piper are going to have control in the beginning, and when Chelsea is tagged in, we get a really fake punch from Chelsea to Kayden. It was supposed to be like a tag. It was supposed to be like a double team off the tag, but like Chelsea had Kayden right here and did this, and then Kayden had to sell a punch in the face, and I'm like, bruh. So either way, obviously Chelsea being the quote unquote lesser of the two, obviously starts getting her tail kicked when she gets tagged in. When they work to Katana's corner, Piper is going to get in, and Katana is going to try to put a stop to that with a crossbody, but Piper is going to catch Katana and do a fall-away slam that puts her on the outside of the ring. And after, Piper is going to deliver a mean running crossbody to Kayden Carter while she is attempting to pin Chelsea Green, which is going to set Chelsea up to go ahead and get that roll up and get that win. That's basically all that happened. I did not see the point in this match, aside from the fact that they were both former women's tag champions, and maybe this is setting up Ivy Nile and Candice LeRae versus Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Like, where does this go? Like, what was the point of this match?
No clue. It was filler, is what it felt like.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about it either. Like I said when I was announcing it, it just didn't feel like it made sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, even Maxxine Dupri, Ivy Nile, and Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, it had a point. We'd seen the match before, like you also pointed out, Dress. We've seen it before, but at least at a point, we knew why it was happening.
Yeah.
So very interesting. I mean, but here's the thing. Sometimes you need these matches to start a new thing. So while it was weird where it was, whatever, I would say, again, me being the nice guy about it, let's see where it goes. You know what I mean? Let's see if they do something with it. Now, they don't do anything with it. It was just a match that came out of someone's ass, and that was it.
So I'm leaning towards.
Indeed. So, moving on, we're going to see Cody come into the ring, go to commercial. We're going to come back, and we're going to get a recap of Rhea relinquishing the title, and Liv coming out, and we're going to fade into Kathy Kelly with Liv, and she's going to ask Liv if this is the conclusion of her revenge tour. Stupid question. She says that she's not the bad guy, and no one cared when Rhea did that to her. She also says, what I was saying later, that there's a saying for what happened, which is an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a shoulder for a shoulder. She says that Liv Morgan's revenge tour isn't over, it's just beginning, and it will end with Liv Morgan as your new women's champion. Watch me. I like Liv Morgan a lot, and I'm going to say this, and some people watching, or some people who end up watching this or listening to this are going to be upset, but Liv Morgan is like a discount Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss is already a discounted AJ Lee.
So I actually very much agree with that. Like, yeah.
I would. Only thing I wouldn't say AJ Lee. I would say discounted Trish Stratus.
Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
Unpack that for me.
Trish Stratus. I don't know.
God
They're
damn.
both small, tiny. They're both small, tiny, blonde.
Motherfucker
Ditzy.
being chaotic on us again. He's just trying to start shit.
No, they're both ditzy as shit. Well, not Liv. She's batshit. So there's the difference. But
Nah, you out here like, oh, they got blonde hair. All right, cool.
you know, yeah, throw Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair in there. They're both discount Trish Stratus's.
Yeah, that's better.
No,
That's better.
no.
I can go with that.
Wow, really?
Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton is like
Really?
an upgraded Kelly. She has the looks of Kelly, but can actually wrestle. Kelly couldn't wrestle a tuna can if she had to.
Wow.
So, but Kelly knows that. If you told Kelly that, she knows that. Hey, that's not an insult.
Man, you tell me to unpack. I need you to unpack some shit here.
But I can unpack my shit. I think Kelly. So okay, but here's the thing: Kelly and Tiffany Stratton are both very, very, very beautiful women. The reason I say that Tiffany Stratton is an upgrade is because Kelly had no wrestling ability whatsoever. Tiffany Stratton has wrestling ability. She has an agility and gymnastics and this, that, and the other. So, you know, just like I can say that Jade Cargill is an upgraded Jacqueline. Right? Anybody who remembers Jacqueline.
Fair. All right, I ain't even gonna argue that.
I understand she's taller than Jacqueline. She has a deeper moveset than Jacqueline. She has a better aura than Jacqueline. But they were both very powerful, muscular. Had a good physique, all that good stuff about them. Women, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. Damn. All right.
So, but either way, we're gonna get into our Cody Rhodes segment. Actually, hold on. Let me ask this: Do you guys think, and Squirrels, you can jump in here too if you're listening still. How do you guys think that this ends with Liv with the title, or do you think? And we're going to talk about it a little bit later because Nia Jax has a segment here. Do you think it's going to go to Liv, or do you think it's going to go to Nia? Because that's who it's going to come down to. Let's be honest.
Eventually, it'll get to Liv. I just don't think it's her time yet. Like
Okay.
She's got to go through some hoops before she gets to wear the belt. I don't know who's getting the belt. Honestly, it could be Nia. Hell, it could be fucking Chelsea Green. I highly doubt it. But I know it was a joke. But honestly, I just feel like there needs to be more of a story with Liv before she gets her title in this revenge run. Like, who has she got revenge on other than Rhea?
Well, she'll work on Nia next.
Wasn't it Rhea was the only one she needed revenge on?
Well, Nia was the one that took her shoulder out of the socket, yeah. But making it a tour is just saying she's gonna run roughshod on everybody.
Yeah, revenge tour. That's why I'm confused about. So I just don't see her winning the belt. If she wins the belt, then yeah, she gets her revenge tour, and they'll probably stop at Rhea again. But I don't know.
Heard that. All right. So next we got our Cody Rhodes segment.
I don't care.
In your soul.
Into your soul.
The song.
Something Cody Rhodes.
Something Cody Rhodes.
Did you see they did a this week at Disney World? They actually snuck Cody's song into, they have the Mickey's Fantasia show where he comes out in the robes and everything.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I did see that. Yeah.
They actually played he was playing Cody's music while he was doing his Fantasia show. I'm like, Lord. What the fuck?
So Cody's gonna come out. He's gonna say, "What do you want to talk about?" in French, and of course the crowd yeets all over themselves for that. He thanks Adam Pearce for letting him be on Raw since he's a SmackDown superstar, but either way, he's not going to go anywhere. He then puts over SmackDown, the SmackDown match between LA Knight and AJ Styles, and after that, he's going to bring up Seth Rollins and thank him for being his Shield at WrestleMania. He then thinks that The Rock has way more than one more match left in him, which I don't think, if his legs actually breaking down on him was a real thing, I don't think he has more than one match left in him. But he brings up the fact that The Rock said that he was going to make Cody bleed again, and Cody says that maybe that is true, Rock. Maybe you're right, but you know damn well that if I'm going to bleed, you're going to bleed too.
He might have more than one more speed match in him, but
I don't think he can go.
I don't think that man's going to take another WrestleMania match on his own. I don't think he can do that.
Which is hilarious because Hulk Hogan was older than him doing wrestling. But the thing is, Hulk Hogan stayed active, so.
Well, I will defend Rocky against this. I feel like he's taking more brutal matches than Hulk Hogan. You know, finishing a match with a leg drop is Monday.
Bitch! Oh! Ooh! What? No! You did not just. The Hulk Hogan has 2 fake knees. He has 2 fake hips. The man, the man has lost 4 inches from doing the leg drop.
Leg drop.
God.
I'm a run and I'm gonna shoot my ass in the air. I'll put my leg down on somebody's head into the match.
That's all it took in the 80s and 90s.
It's fair. He did that 6,780 times. His legs finally gave out. Boo fucking who? Oh, he took a hit to the face. And, I gotta rev up. Motherfucker, who cares?
Ooh, you're hurting my childhood. Oh, you bitch.
That's fair. That's fair. You know what? Be upset. I want you to look back at the 80s time frame and say one thing that Hulk Hogan did was extreme, other than lift Andre the Giant. What's the most extreme thing he did outside of lifting Andre?
What do you mean? Like
saying the N-word?
You know what? That's true. Hulk Hogan lived a way more dangerous life the second he decided to start saying the N-word on camera and cheating on his wife. Wow.
Yes, sir.
You know what? He dressed one with that. I ain't got nothing for it.
I got nothing.
I got nothing. That's extreme.
That's wild. All right. Look. We'll get back to it. That's funny. So he goes from talking about The Rock, and he questions who the tribal chief really is now, since Roman isn't around last week. Well, wasn't around last week with Tama Tonga, and he's over here talking about the tribal chief. But he then decides to bring out Jey Uso and asks if he can have Jey Uso's back the way that Jey had his back. Because, you know, if he's fighting Finn, the Judgment Day aren't going to be far behind. Jey said that he has to do it on his own and says that he's going to be the new world's heavyweight champion. Cody looks like he's going to exit. He says, you got to do it on your own, huh? Okay, cool. Goes like he's going to go and exit. Turns around and he says, until we yeet again. And they both pause and say yeet together very loudly. And that's what happened.
You sure that wasn't a fever dream?
No, that actually happened.
Okay.
Well, that happened.
Yeet.
Now, if you can believe
Cody
it,
yeeted side by side.
if you can believe it, we have a segment and 2 matches left still. Crazy. Again, and that's just because this was a fantastic Raw. I will say it again. This was a very, very good Raw, in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into Kathy Kelly standing in the back with Nia Jax. And she asked her what her thoughts were on Rhea relinquishing the title. Nia says that there are only 2 kinds of people in the world. Those who care about Rhea and those who want to see her get her revenge. Apparently there are 3 kinds of people, as it would turn out, because she said she's neither one of those people. She said she doesn't care about Rhea at all. She then mentions the draft and says that she might be facing someone new, and there are only 2 types of people in the world: those who fear Nia Jax and those who learn to fear Nia Jax.
And those who beat Nia Jax repeatedly, but alright.
And those who Nia Jax sits on.
Oh, okay.
She says that no one is taking the title away from her because it is mine. Now in this, she talks about not being afraid of Liv, because last time she had Liv was hers. And You know, last time she saw Becky was hers, like meaning that she beat the shit out of them basically. And okay, fair enough. But again, I mean, there was a possibility that Nia goes ahead and goes over and gets the title finally, but I mean, this would be a time to pull the trigger. You know, I see Nia getting the title when there's not someone like a Rhea Ripley to beat her, but I don't know. If it came down to Nia and Liv, I wouldn't see Liv winning. I would see Nia winning.
Really?
Yeah. I love Liv. Don't get me wrong. I do love Liv. Like, as much as I say she's a discounted Alexa Bliss and all that stuff, like, I still think she's a great wrestler and everything, and she's got a great aura about her, but I still see Nia coming out on top. I'm sorry. I got to be realistic on that one. I don't see her winning. I
mean, I don't know. I've been wanting Nia to have a boat run, but goddamn, it's got to make sense. Like, it's just, somebody got hurt. It wasn't even by Nia's hand. That's the wild part about it. It was by Liv.
Yep.
And then Nia gets the belt off of a Liv Morgan injury. Well, not Liv Morgan injury, but Liv entering the champ. It just seems
kind of hollow.
Yeah. That title reign would mean shit. It would mean shit unless she runs rap shot on the entire roster in this title run. It would just be like, it would be hollow as hell.
Yeah, she might. You never know. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Becky gonna beat her ass one go, and then the new champion. But no, Charlotte Flair's gonna come back, put the big meaty legs with a figure eight leg lock. Sorry,
man. You know Charlotte always goes to SmackDown.
I mean, yeah, that is her home, but you know, they say this is a new era.
Well, there's also too much star power in SmackDown right now. She actually, if she went to Raw, it would even it out. Yeah, she is billed to come back soon. Yep, absolutely she is. All right,
I don't know if it's before SummerSlam though.
I would hope it would be before SummerSlam. Holy crap, that'd be a long time. We're talking August.
All right. How long is
well,
she
I mean, she was.
I can't remember.
She went out in November, and she was supposed to be out for 9 months.
Damn.
That was the thing.
Damn, you're right.
Wow.
Well, we'll see what happens then, because it might not be her.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're going to move into Jey Uso versus Finn Balor. So, Finn is going to start the match with a sneak attack on Jey, and this is going to allow Finn to keep control for a good portion of the beginning of the match. At one point, we'll see Damian looking on, scouting Jey, but also critiquing Finn. And Jey and Finn's style, they actually complement each other, as you see in the match. Which I guess I probably should have seen coming, but for whatever reason they didn't. And they end up getting into more of a back and forth match than a one-sided kind of thing. However, you do end up noticing at the end of each exchange, Finn will end up getting the final say despite Jey showing some hope spots. We get to a point where the momentum will start to lean more towards Jey, and we cut to the back where Damian is still watching, and he says, I think I'm going to come out there and pay a visit. After that happens, Jey will go for his Uso splash, and he will miss. And Finn will go for a drop kick, knock Jey in the corner, and this is going to lead for Finn going for the coup de grace, and Finn will miss. Jey's going to use the spear, and then properly hit the Uso splash, and he's actually going to win the match. He's actually going to win the match instead of a interruption or a interference. But after the match, Damian is still going to make his way out to the ring. He's going to hold the title up in front of Jey's face, and the rest of the Judgment Day are going to come out through the crowd, and they're going to attack him. Once they throw him to the outside, Jey will get the upper hand as Dom jumps from the apron, and he's going to get a super kick. JD is going to follow Jey out and even jump over the barricade after him. But Jey's going to end up countering. He's going to grab JD, and he's going to throw JD into Finn, rendering the entire Judgment Day minus Damian, who did not pursue, going to take them all out of the equation. Now, Jey's going to end up leaving through the crowd, and the camera's going to follow him up. So this is another unique camera opportunity, camera exit and entrance. Jey's going to walk all the way up the stairs. He's going to go out through the main door where Sami's going to be looking up at the building. Jey's going to run to Sami, and he says, what are you doing, Oos? What's going on here? Sami said, I started my career here. And I got to be honest, I just wanted to come out here and I wanted to enter the match the same way I entered this arena for the first time. And he said, I'm going to enter in as champion tonight, and I'm going to leave the same exact way as champion. And then Sami is going to go through, and he says, do you want to see what a real crowd is like? Come follow me. And he's going to come through the arena, through the popcorn stand. He's going to come down through the crowd. The fans are going to be going nuts for him. Fans solidly behind Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn is going to enter the ring. Now this move...
So before we move forward to Sami,
sure.
I want to say,
sure.
Back with Damian. Ooh, pardon me. Back with Damian in the Judgment Day, when he was standing in the ring, looking at Jey.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else notice for just a half second? Damian actually looked disgusted when the rest of the Judgment Day attacked Jey.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give the sign to do it. He actually looked like he was gonna stop them when they did it. He didn't, but he looked like he was gonna make the move. That look on his face was much different than what we were used to seeing with him. At least to me.
No, I think it's proven that he's not as hungry as because he has his title down. So him having to jump people is beneath him. And he's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah. So I didn't know if it was me or just me, but like I said, to me it looked like he was just like, why?
Looks like there's no point. He can handle it by himself. Clearly, I have the belt. I have the gold. I can do this by myself.
I didn't catch it, but I can see it. I can also see there being a lot of dissension amongst the ranks. Now that Rhea isn't there, and it's like I was saying earlier with Finn questioning Damian of why he was in this match and why they're not focusing on the tag titles. Finn's already getting hungry for gold again, and Damian laying down the law like he should have and all that kind of stuff, but it just shows that there's some dissension amongst the ranks. So I can see that, definitely.
I just thought it was interesting.
Indeed. So, back to the proper match, Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Now, before the match, after we go to commercial, we're going to have Big Bronson Reed confront Gable, and he says that it doesn't matter who wins, because the winner has to face Big Bronson Reed. And Chad's going to head out to the ring. Now, when we get out to the ring, we're going to get a handshake between the two gentlemen in the beginning of the match, and Samantha Irvin's going to properly announce the match, since it is a title match, and that's what we're doing now. That's the way that we're doing this, which is awesome. Giving the titles proper respect, the matches the proper respect that they deserve. But we're going to start this match going move for move, arm drag for arm drag, and things of that nature. Sami's going to get the upper hand in the beginning of the exchange, and we're going to go to commercial break after that upper hand, with them actually ending up nose to nose. When we come back from the commercial break, we're going to see that Chad was right about knowing Sami's moveset and weaknesses, because he will continue to reverse Sami's normal moveset time and time again. Sami will start to get momentum, but as soon as he starts to do any big move, call the move, Blue Thunder Bomb, his flip to the outside of the ring, any of that kind of stuff, he's going to counter it in some way. One particular time will end up in Sami's leg getting injured, and Chad's going to capitalize on this by doing his signature dive to the outside, which is basically where he does this and dives at somebody, which it looks mean as shit. I'm just gonna, like, I talk about this almost every week that he does it. It looks mean as hell, him diving from the ring like that. And then he's gonna go back in and he's gonna hit the flying headbutt, which he is allowed to do now. After this, Chad is gonna continue to work the leg, and Sami's gonna slowly mount a comeback despite the injury. The biggest problem here is going to be that Sami will keep going back to the old shtick, as Chad is going to keep reversing it. And again, these moves during the match include him reversing the exploder, the dive to the outside, his walk up the corner arm drag that he does from time to time. All of these things are going to end up getting reversed. We're going to go to another commercial break with Sami in control, but when we come back, we're going to see a modified angle slam from the top rope from Chad to Sami, which was fantastic. Like, come back, boom, on the top rope, what the hell's going on? Boom, angle slam. Pretty good. Sami will eventually learn from his mistakes, though, and he's going to start taking pages out of Chad's book, and he's going to start reversing things like Chad's triple German suplex, and he's going to attempt a triple of his own. This German suplex spot in particular is going to start being reversed 3 to 4 times up until Sami gets the upper hand, and he's going to finish this exchange with a German. Now, at one point, Sami's going to go for a haluva kick, but Chad is going to pick the leg and apply the ankle lock. Sami's going to eventually reverse it, and even though Chad will go for an aerial attack, Sami's going to counter that into a power bomb and then into a sharpshooter. They'll then start working finishers and big move attempts back and forth until Chad picks Sami's ankle again and applies the ankle lock, but this time he's going to apply it in deep until Sami reverses into a near fall, which leads to an exploder into a haluva kick, which I thought Chad was going to kick out of, but that was the end of the match. Now again, Hanji, shaking your head. Dresh, shaking your head. It is obvious that Chad was the better wrestler. Obvious. And that's objective. That's not even subjective. I don't think that someone could subjectively say that, or I don't think someone could objectively say that Chad is not the better wrestler. Objectively, he's the better wrestler. But that's not the story that WWE is going with. The story that WWE decided to go with is that Sami comes back despite all odds. He fights his way back, which I understand the hope spot. I get it.
Yeah.
But the other direction, which I think is a complete, just not good idea, is that Chad is going to turn heel.
I'm not mad at the idea.
So,
I'm not mad at it.
So the way it happens is that after the match, Sami picks up a distraught Chad and holds his hand in the air. Chad then holds Sami's hand in the air, and it appears that he's leaving. As Sami goes to celebrate with his family, Chad attacks Sami from behind with a German, and the attack will end with Sami getting pushed into the ring post as he falls through the second and third rope. Turnbuckle, really. Chad applies the ankle lock while Sami is facing towards his family to add insult to injury as we end the night.
So, first of all, he not only hit that German in front of his family, he pulled Sami out of his wife's arms to hit that German. And if you go back and watch the data, he continued to beat on Sami for about 10 minutes after the camera stopped. Even while he was getting booed and multiple chants of "you suck" and shit like that from the crowd, he didn't care.
Yep.
He told the crowd, if you'd been through what I've been through, you'd have done it too.
And I'll say this. I don't believe it is a good direction for Chad. Chad is one of my favorites right now. And I will say this. I believe that Chad has the ability to take a situation and make it gold. So Chad is going to take this heel situation and make it good. I said on the Facebook, I posted on the Facebook that I believe that they're doing to Chad what they did to Cody. Cody had all of the talent, but they didn't push him like they should, and he left. Chad has all of the talent, and they're not pushing him like they should, and I'm afraid he's going to leave and go to AEW, and I don't want that to happen because Chad definitely won't be used right in AEW.
I don't think that he'll go to AEW. I think this heel turn is only. I think it's a way to give him a shot at the belt that's more than just a pity shot. Mm-hmm. I personally don't think that they are going to. I don't think they're going to keep Sami with this belt for very long because they are not. I think it's intentional that they are not making him look like a strong champion. I mean, his first match out the gate after getting it, he's basically getting tossed around the ring. His first actual defense of the belt, he's getting tossed around the ring. He won it at the end, just like always. That's not making for a strong champion. That's not making, in my mind, it's not making for a champion that's going to be around for a while. It's the making of a champion that's got fucking lucky, and his luck's going to run out, and quickly.
I wouldn't even say luck. It's more plot armor and, power of positivity. But the power of positivity is going to run out eventually, and he's not going to be.
This ain't My Little Pony.
Right, like this is reality. Like we're not in the business of, if you try really hard and you never give up. John Cena era, that's dead. I was over the John Cena era when it was John Cena era. Don't do this with Sami.
I mean, right now, good.
I'm saying I'm not mad at the heel turn. Chad has been through a lot. After losing to Gunther, it was clearly something snapped. Something snapped in him. Like that loss to Gunther hit home. And it's just showing how WWE is progressing this story because, he has to help Sami get the championship, but he wants it himself. It's kind of like I'm doing this just to get where I need to get.
It's a slap in the face partially, and then it's a realization on his side of, well, I might be able to take Gunther, but Gunther laid my ass out last time. So if I can get it to Sami, it'll be easier. Yeah, that's exactly what I see.
And when it didn't happen, Chad, I saw the memes online.
Snap.
Chad turned into a Perk Angle, as the fans call him. the perked out Kurt Angle. And let me tell you, when Kurt Angle was perked out, he was gold. I hate to say that the drug made him gold, but he was gold in all of his wrestling with that. It's fucked up to say, but Perk Angle was lit.
I think Angle said at one point that he was taking like 30 perks a day.
Yes.
Like he would just take a handful.
Jesus.
So the fact that his body was able to sustain that, you better be gold. You can do 25 flips off of the top rope at that point.
Like he was going through a lot at that point in time. And again, his wrestling, it's crazy. It was out there. I'm like, holy shit. I still didn't like him, but I loved his wrestling.
Look,
he made every.
Now, all I was gonna say is that Perk Angle would do backflips off of cages, and like when you on that many perks, you ain't feeling a thing when you land.
Oh shit. But every match he was in, it was exciting as hell. It was crazy.
Yep. Now
I don't know if we're gonna get Perk Angle Chad Gable, but I think it's gonna be exciting to see.
Indeed. So yeah, we that's going to be the end for that. Again, what I'm afraid of here, and I really don't think it will happen, but what I'm afraid of is that now next week what's going to happen is Chad and Otis are going to get into an argument, and now all of a sudden Chad's going against Otis because they're in the same faction. And Otis will be like, "Come on, Chad, it's all right, man." And Chad's gonna be like, "F you, Otis, you fat bit, whatever." And then they're gonna have to get in the ring. And it's like now Chad's going for the IC belt, and now the next week he's going against Otis because he's a bad guy. Like that's the kind of shit that I'm afraid of. But
I mean, it's gonna break him off. Like this heel turn is gonna legit break him away. He's gonna be by himself for a little bit.
Maybe Chad goes to SmackDown.
Maybe.
I think that'd be a bad idea, but maybe.
I mean,
so before we get into news, we'll do news real quick because I know that we're almost at 2 hours now. But Squirrel says that he would like to see someone new like Zoe Stark get the belt. I think that'd be pretty cool. I do not want.
Saying it for months.
So I don't want Shayna Baszler to get it, but I think Zoe Stark getting it would be pretty dope.
Oh, Shayna Baszler also.
She's a man.
Ah, damn. All right. Yo, just. Damn. That's rude. Look, just because she's tossed like a teenage boy doesn't mean she's a man, all right?
Motherfucker, her Adam's apple's bigger than mine.
All right.
Man. All right.
All right.
Yeah, see? Uh-huh. Yeah.
Cancel.
Oh, man. Hey, can you guys boot out that whoever that is?
I'm not in the chat, so G'll have to do the mod thing.
Got you. I don't think I can boot from the pod from whatever. Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna do the news transition real quick. So, oh well. First, since I break this up, let me do it this way. That doesn't matter. Let's just do the news transition. Okay, so here we go in news transition. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I was waiting for it, and I was trying to cue you up, but I knew you were in the middle of something. So
I was doing stuff.
I know. But all right. So welcome to the news. Now, Dresh, if it is okay, I have one bit of news. If I can go first.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay.
Okay. All right, it's not WWE related. It's actually AEW related.
Oh,
And I don't want to hear it.
So, Nyla Rose has been. You reminded me when you said that Shayna Baszler was a man. So, Nyla Rose has been officially banned from wrestling in Ohio. She's been officially banned from wrestling in Ohio.
I thought it was Oklahoma. Was it Ohio?
Was it Oklahoma? Did I say Oklahoma?
Yeah.
You said Oklahoma, and then you said Ohio.
Oklahoma would make a lot more sense. So yeah, so it's Oklahoma. She's been banned from wrestling in Oklahoma, basically because biologically she's a male.
That's wild.
And they don't want her to wrestle, or they don't want her to wrestle the women because biologically she's a man. And that's the news. I'm not going to give my opinion on it. I'm just going to say that is the news that I heard, and that seems to be pretty newsworthy because I'm pretty sure a lot of things are going to come out about that. And there's going to be a lot of opinions different ways. But that's AEW stuff. We don't talk a lot about AEW, but I thought that was big enough to mention. Just like, yeah, I thought it was big enough to mention. Dresh, go ahead and take the news away, the proper WWE or whatever else you have, my friend.
All right, so first is kind of WWE because it's Vince.
Okay.
All right, so we all know Vince sold his entire stock in the company. He is no longer in any way a shareholder and an affiliate with the company.
Wow.
Along with everything that's come up, he has a non-compete clause until the middle of 2025. Vince has already said he's going to try and start another company once his non-compete clause is up. He wants to start another wrestling organization. Thoughts?
If that's real, I'm not watching it. I'm just saying, for what?
So, I've done a little bit of research on this as well because I saw that come up. Meltzer, now take anything Meltzer says with a grain of salt, but Meltzer says most likely this isn't going to happen for a few reasons. One is age, but 2, all of the allegations that have come against him. Now, the thing with that is that both of those things don't really matter to McMahon. So I would not be surprised if he tried, but I just don't know who would be willing to work with him. That's the only thing.
He would have to start with a younger class, I would think. I don't think he's going to have superstars or anything right out the gate. He's going to have to start with up-and-comers.
Like indies, like straight indies from companies.
He's pulling indies straight to the scene.
Like there's,
That's exactly what I would see it would be. He has no choice. It's got to be that.
Some poor sons of bitches. I know they want to make it, but man, going that route, after hearing all the shit that other wrestlers have gone through, yes, they did make it eventually, but to go through that and then all the other allegations, you really want to really put your life at risk?
Yeah. I don't see it working. Even if he does it, I don't see it working. But it's Vince. I think he'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
I think at least in a mid-ground level, like a local level, he'd do well. But I don't think he's ever going to get back to the stage. I don't think it's ever going to come back.
I don't know. Dude was a genius. Like, well, he was a genius in the.
He was. But the times have changed so much, you know.
And that's what I'm saying. Like he was able to make it work and get people excited and draw attention. Now it's just kind of like it would be like a circus show, honestly. More of a circus show than AEW is at the moment.
Yeah. All right. So our second news story, let's go a little bit lighter. Let's talk about one half of A-Town Down Under. Mr. Grayson Waller had an interview this week with on the Bump. He claims that he, in the eyes of WrestleMania, is better than the Taker.
Okay.
His exact words, his question: has The Undertaker ever lost at WrestleMania? He has. Has Grayson Waller ever lost at WrestleMania? No. Which means I'm better than he is.
Yikes. All right. So how many matches has Waller had at WrestleMania?
1.
All righty. Cool. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to say.
But that's Grayson Waller put it out there on the Bump that he's better than the Taker.
Yo, look at T's face.
And you're the one that likes the friggin' tag team. Shut up.
T, what you got to say, brother? What you got to say? You look like you want to say something.
All I want to say is that statement is filled with so much ignorance that I just pray to God that is in kayfabe and nothing else.
That is clearly kayfabe, man.
That's gotta be. It's. Oh Jesus.
Look, you know that's how you know a good heel, because it got T's face curled the fuck up.
I didn't know what to say. I was like, just go to the next story. Go. I don't want to talk. Just go to the next story. I'm gonna lose my shit. What the fuck is he?
Jesus Christ.
All right, I've got 2 more. So we're gonna save the most serious one for last.
Okay.
Next one up is straight out of this week's WWE Live in the UK. Our good friend Drew McIntyre, who is, we all know, just completely unfucking hinged right now.
Friend of the show, by the way.
I wish. I really do.
Man, don't be lying on names out here.
I don't need that Scottish man coming and kicking my door down. Jesus.
Oh, you're friends? Yeah, we're all friends.
We gonna be friends now.
Oh.
So Drew goes out and he's cutting his promo in the ring in the UK and goes on his little rant and specifically says, well, you see, I'm here, but you know who's not here? Well, you see, I'm actually hurt, but you know, I'm still here because I'm not a big bitch like CM Punk.
CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk.
That match is going to be equivalent to Edge and Matt Hardy.
Yeah. It's gonna be close.
Like I think
that match is gonna be amazing when it actually happens.
I think in real life they have it under control a little bit more than Matt and Edge did. But like,
are you sure? Because Drew just seems unhinged every time they talk to him.
Honestly, I don't think that beef is that real. Like, it's probably some kind of beef there, but I don't think it's as real as Edge and Matt Hardy. That was real life. Like, your girl cheated on with your boys. Beef. Like, that's, man. that was real, but I don't know. Maybe it is some. Maybe Drew snuck a glass cold kiss on AJ or something. We don't know.
All right, so my last one is, in my opinion, it seems stupid, but it almost seems like it's ended a wrestler's career. So I don't know if you guys have seen the allegations that came out over the last week from Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
Towards Drew Gulak.
Mm-hmm.
WWE has wiped his name from the records. He does not exist.
Well, to be fair, he didn't really exist before that, but that's fair. I get it.
As far as they're concerned, he does not exist. They have pulled his name. They have pulled everything. He is banned from wrestling at the moment, and nobody is even allowed to speak his name on air.
Do you guys know what the allegations were?
Yeah, he pulled the drawstring on her. Yeah.
He pulled her drawstring, and she felt like it was sexual.
He says he just brushed against it, and he even apologized at the time. Like, he said he apologized to her. He didn't mean to when he did it. It wasn't, he said he made a big deal at the time because he didn't mean anything. But Ronda took it entirely different.
Yeah.
But why not mention it? Wow, And I'm not throwing that because I know how stuff like that can happen and people don't want to mention it. But I mean, if it's something that small, pulling on the drawstring, you felt, you're in the company where they could do stuff about that. You're a big name at a company.
Miss Rousey has had a huge chip on her shoulder about her time in the WWE because she didn't get the same treatment that Logan Paul's getting.
Treatment? Yeah, the Logan Paul treatment.
She even went out of her way to try and get, she got the Roddy Piper bit and all that to try and get that approval, and it just wasn't there. The fans didn't take to her.
Didn't she win her first belt within the first year of her go around?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But she says she didn't get the same treatment, and she's had a huge chip on her shoulder lately about, she's publicly said there's been issues where she felt the locker room, everyone was against her at all times. She didn't feel safe in the locker room. She didn't feel comfortable. She didn't feel welcome.
Yeah. She had her girls in the locker room with her.
She's got the stuff with Drew Gulak here. There was a third thing too, and I can't remember it now. She's had 3 different comments. I don't know. Didn't she recently have a book that came out or something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's doing a lot.
I'm saying I don't want to say it's a press run just to sell her book, but damn, it sure seem like it.
Yeah, she's really got to sell her book right now, and I'm just gonna say this is not It's All the Work talking. This is me talking right now. So I was gonna say this because look, here's the thing. I'm not saying. I don't even know how to say this without actually sounding offensive. Ronda Rousey can take Drew Gulak, number 1. Number 2, he pulled on her drawstring allegedly. Okay, here's the thing. Allegedly, right? So here's the worst case scenario of this story. He walked up to her and purposefully pulled on her drawstring to be playful in a potential sexual manner. All right. And then, according to her, she was sexually harassed in this way, and now that's the biggest deal on the planet. All right, so let me put this into context for you. In 1999, I believe her name was Miss Kitty or the Cat or something like that. She was in a mud match and took her tits out, and she was told to do that. And that was the first like actual brawlless nudity on a pay-per-view from WWE. Countless bras and panties matches that girls were encouraged to be a part of, and if they weren't a part of those matches, they lost their career and their career was diminished. Janelle Grant allegedly was shit on by the CEO, allegedly, and a bunch of other bad things happened to her. Really bad things happened to her. What was I had another example as well, another recent example. The stuff that happened to Ashley Mazzaro. Rest in peace. You know, she was raped in Kuwait or whatever, and then it was covered up, allegedly. Again, allegedly. All of these things are like absolutely Paige was filmed. She was abused by one of her boyfriends, by one of the WWE executives. And he took all of these videos, coerced her and manipulated her to take videos of herself, and then he leaked all of it. Like, there is not one body part or crevice of Paige that everyone hasn't seen because of what this person did. And now Ronda Rousey's like, he pulled my drawstring. I felt bad. I'm not saying that we shouldn't like handle sexual harassment cases and stuff, but I'm saying that I don't know. I just think that might be making a mountain out of a molehill, especially comparatively. Now, does that make me a bad person to say that? Maybe. Does that get me canceled? Maybe. But goddamn, I mean, like, I don't know.
I understand her. If it doesn't matter if she felt violated, then she felt violated. You can't take that away. I get it.
I know. Right. I know.
But at the same time, it's going to end up being a my word versus yours. And there's no. I guarantee you, there was no camera right there. So, was it a heinous enough act that you are going to change the course of this man's entire life? Because if you go through with this, which you have, he's not going to he's not going to be able to get back into wrestling. It's going to follow him. He has been erased from the universe. His character is gone. You have just essentially ruined this man's life.
Right.
Because this is all he's done for most of these guys since they were 12, 13, 14 years old. Most of them don't know what else to fucking do.
Right.
Now, he may deserve it, and that may be something that needs to come out later. I get it. But proportionately, it seems like you're hitting an ant with a nuclear warhead.
Right. Right. Because, I mean, and now again, maybe there is something there that we don't know. Maybe there's more to the story. But all the story that I know that's been released is that he pulled my drawstring and I felt like it was sexual in nature, even though he apologized. And then, you know, again, it's a he said, she said. I don't know. I mean, even here, us talking about it for so long, I feel like I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. But just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy story, crazy thing. So.
All right. At looking at stuff here, let's get close to ending. First, I have to do a little more research, so I'll have it for the weekend. Evidently, Matt Cardona, back with NXT, I believe. I know he was WWE. I think he's back with NXT now.
Really, Matt Cardona?
I don't know.
There's no way.
Maybe it's AEW.
He's been called
he's
the
with
Indie God. Like,
he was here when I went to Wrestling Revolver. He was here. He was wrestling with Wrestling Revolver. He was supposed to be back here in June. Anyway, evidently he's either dating or married to Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
He had surgery the other day. So, don't know what the surgery was for. Don't know the recovery time. But with anybody, that steps inside the squared circle, wish him a speedy recovery to make it back to the mat.
Absolutely.
Oh, but by the way, that's his wife, Chelsea Green.
Is it? I wasn't sure if they were married or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Married.
Now,
Absolutely.
one last thing that I found while we were sitting here talking. So they're talking right now about WrestleMania 41 being in Minnesota. It hasn't been confirmed, but that's where they're looking at. It is very likely that WrestleMania, if it is held there, could clash with the Final Four of the NCAA tournament next year.
Boy.
They're talking about possibly, not set in stone, but possibly holding WrestleMania until May.
Really?
Thoughts?
Interesting.
Because they don't want to compete with the NCAA.
Damn.
There's that face again.
Yeah. I mean, that's some heavy competition. I mean, I hate to say it.
Thank you all for coming. It's all the work. No, I'm kidding.
Look, I try to start something meaningful, and I get that.
That's a bad idea. I really don't think they would do that. I don't think they should do that.
I don't think they should either. That is some stiff ass competition though, because NCAA takes up a lot of viewers. It takes up a lot of people, like legitimately, because you have game upon game upon game. Now, I would say maybe if it's the start of the tournament, they may be able to get away with it. But if it's the Final Four,
I mean, if it's the same weekend it was this year, it's the final, not even Final Four, it's the final two. This weekend was, or the weekend for WrestleMania was the championships.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, the men's are always held on that Monday after the women. So that WrestleMania weekend will be held on that Monday. But Final Four is a big deal, and I don't think they'll go. I don't think they'll move it, but I don't know. Someone will have to work. So they'll have to move some stuff around.
Yep. All right, look, guys, we are at 2 hours and 14 minutes. Now,
that's your fault.
Well, yeah, I got a little crazy with the Bray Wyatt stuff, but right now, hey, you know what? I appreciate the people that have stuck in there and stayed with us. I thank you so much for that. But we're gonna go ahead and end it here. We're gonna throw it up on the YouTube. We're gonna clip out the Bray Wyatt, or I'm sorry, not the Bray Wyatt, but the Uncle Howdy stuff on the YouTube and have that separate. My friends, we have another one in the bag. This is episode 22. It's gonna end up being on Spotify. And we're going to be back here on Sunday to review SmackDown. Please check the Facebook for any updates. We do have a Reddit that is now on our LinkedIn. Please, if you're a part of Reddit like that, we're going to start getting the Discord set up as well. What?
Linktree.
What did I say?
LinkedIn.
God dang it. Please check the Linktree. We don't have a LinkedIn because we don't, we're not, whatever.
Oh.
Please check the Linktree. That is pinned at the top here. And you guys know the thing by now. You guys know the spiel. If you want good news and if you want good reviews, you come to It's All a Work, my friends. We'll see you next Sunday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time to review SmackDown. Y'all have a good night and get home safely.
We out.